Step into the unknown with the shadow frequency and your host, Matt Wilson, as he takes you where the shadows hum.
Here we go again, the file cabinet of doom. Obviously, Matt, I think this thing has a mind of its own. Every time I open a drawer, it coughs up something stranger.
Careful in there, Juniper. Last time you stirred it up, we ended up with a glowing envelope that nearly burned a hole in the table.
Oh, and tonight's no exception. Look at this. An old hotel key tagged room 202. The metal's cold, like it just came out of a freezer.
That is unsettling. And let me guess, the tag has handwriting on it?
Guess never check out. Okay, that's chilling. And here's the second gem, an unmarked reel of film, brittle and dusty, but the label scratched into the canister just says, "Do not project."
Oh boy. If this is the kind of stuff rattling around in those drawers tonight, I think our listeners are in for one of those episodes where the shadows lean in just a little closer.
Shadows, secrets, and a whole lot of questions. I think that's our cue.
Then let's not keep them waiting. Tonight, we dive into the Haunted Inn's ghost, Shatter silence. We'll talk about the Skirrid Inn in Wales. And as always, remember, see you in the shadows.
The night is heavy tonight, listeners, and the air feels charged, like something watching from just beyond the veil. Tonight, we're stepping into the shadowed halls of the Skirrid Inn, a 12th century tavern in Wales where the walls don't just whisper, they scream. This is a place where ropes creaked under the weight of condemned souls, where glasses shatter for no reason, and footsteps echo from empty rooms. Ready to feel the chill, Matt?
Oh, Juniper, you've got my skin crawling already. I can almost hear those footsteps stalking closer. Let's dive into this haunted corner of Wales and see what's waiting for us.
Take us away, Matt. Listeners, buckle up. This one's going to linger.
All right, listeners, let's give a big thanks to Juniper for digging into that file cabinet and pulling out this chilling case. Tonight, we're cracking open the file on the Skirrid Inn, a place so steeped in death and despair it's practically woven into the fabric of the paranormal. This isn't just any old pub. It's a 900-year-old relic in the heart of Monmouthshire, Wales, where the past refuses to stay buried. Picture this. It's the 12th century, and the Skirrid Inn isn't just serving ale. It's a makeshift courtroom and execution site. A dark beam in the tavern's upper floor was used as a gallows, and over 180 souls met their end there, swinging from ropes as the crowd below watched in silence. The inn's history is soaked in blood. Criminals, traitors, and the unlucky face their final moments in that shadowy room. And if you believe the locals, those souls never left. Fast forward to today, and the Skirrid Inn is a hotbed of paranormal activity. Staff and guests report glasses flying off shelves, smashing against walls as if thrown by invisible hands. Footsteps pace the upper floors at night, heavy and deliberate, even when the inn is empty. Some claim to see shadowy figures in old-fashioned clothing, standing silently in doorways before vanishing. One chilling story tells of a barmaid who felt an icy hand grip her wrist while cleaning the bar, alone. Another guest woke to the sensation of a rope tightening around their neck, only to find nothing there. The most active spirit is said to be John Crowther, a highwayman hanged at the inn in the 17th century. His presence is heavy, oppressive, and tied to the gallows room. Visitors feel watched, their breath catching as the air grows thick with dread. Some say they've heard this voice, a low, guttural whisper, calling their name from the stairwell. Others report sudden drops in temperature, as if John's rage still lingers, trapped in the inn's ancient timbers. And then there's the hanging room itself. That blackened beam still looms overhead, and people standing beneath it often feel a crushing weight, like the air itself is pressing down. One paranormal investigator claimed their equipment went haywire in that room. Cameras malfunctioning, audio recorders capturing distorted whispers that weren't heard in the moment. The Skirrid Inn doesn't just feel haunted, it feels alive, pulsing with the anger and sorrow of those who died there. As we sink deeper into this case, you can't help but wonder, are these spirits bound by their violent ends, replaying their final moments? Or is it something darker holding them here, feeding off the fear of the living? The Skirrid Inn is a place where the veil between worlds is thin, and every creak, every shadow feels like a message from the other side. I don't know about you, Juniper, but I'm already feeling like I need to check over my shoulder. Those footsteps, those whispers, it's like the inn itself is trying to tell us something.
Matt, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about standing under that gallows beam. What's next?
Let's take a quick break, then dive back into the shadows. Juniper, over to you.
Listeners, I'm still reeling from that first half. The Skirrid Inn sounds like a place where every corner hides a ghost, and I'm not sure I'd want to spend the night. I'm dying to know what you're thinking. Feeling brave enough to visit that haunted inn? Or are you keeping your distance? We got more eerie details coming up, so don't go anywhere. First, here's a word from our friend, Chris Beach.
Cheers, Juniper. If the shadows have drawn you in, stay a while. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, or wherever you tune in to your favorite podcasts. Dive deeper at shadowfrequencypodcast.com. There, you can explore our complete episode archive, check out our Shadow blog for deeper dives into each case, snag some exclusive merch, or even help support the show by buying us a coffee. And here's something fun. Leave us a voicemail on the site and tell us where in the world you're listening from. You just might hear yourself on the next episode. Take it away, Juniper.
All right, time to spark up the spectral cosmic message materializer. Let's flip these switches now. All right, there comes something strange drifting through the ether. All right, let's crack it open and see what our listener has to say. And here's a creepy little note from Ethan in South Dakota. Says, hi, Matt and Juniper. Just wanted to let you know I'm tuning in all the way from South Dakota. I usually listen to the shadow frequency when I'm driving the long, quiet highways between towns. There's nothing like hearing your show late at night. With the prairie stretching out under the stars, it makes every shadow on the roadside feel a little more alive. Sometimes I'll throw on the podcast while I'm doing chores around the farm too, but my favorite is still those night drives. Your mix of spooky stories and listener mail really makes me feel like I'm riding with friends who are just as fascinated by the strange and unexplained as I am. Keep the episodes coming. I'll be out here in the Dakotas keeping an eye on the skies and the ear on the shadows. Best, Ethan from South Dakota. Ethan, that's so cool. I can just imagine you cruising those dark highways, our spooky kales making every shadow dance. Keep us posted if you spot anything strange out there on the prairie. Listeners, you want to join the conversation? Drop us a line at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. All right, Matt, back to you for the second half. Let's see what else the Skirrid Inn is hiding.
Welcome back, listeners. We're stepping back into the haunted halls of the Skirrid Inn, where the air is thick with the echoes of the past. In the first half, we talked about the inn's brutal history as an execution site and the restless spirits, like John Crowther, the highwayman, who seem to linger in its shadows. Now let's dig deeper into the paranormal phenomena and ask, what's really going on here? The Skirrid Inn's reputation as one of Britain's most haunted places isn't just based on old stories. Modern guests and investigators have documented some truly unsettling experiences. One group of paranormal researchers spent a night in the gallows room and reported a chilling detail. Their motion sensors kept triggering in the middle of the night, as if someone or something was pacing the floorboards. When they reviewed their audio, they found a faint rhythmic creaking, like a rope swaying under weight. No one was in the room. Then there's the story of a couple who stayed in room 3, notorious for its activity. They woke to the sound of heavy boots stomping across the floor, only to find the room empty. The wife later said she felt a presence sitting on the edge of their bed, pressing down so hard the mattress sank. They checked out at dawn, vowing never to return. And it's not just guests. Staff members refused to work alone at night, citing unexplained knocks, doors slamming shut, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. But let's pause for a moment and consider a more grounded perspective. Could some of these experiences have a rational explanation? The Skirrid Inn is ancient, with creaky floors and drafty windows. Old buildings settle, and pipes can groan in ways that sound like footsteps. Some skeptics argue that the power of suggestion plays a role. When you're told a place is haunted, every shadow becomes a ghost. Maybe the shattering glasses are just clumsy hands or faulty shelves, amplified by the inn's grim reputation. It's something to chew on, but it doesn't explain everything. Because here's the thing, the sheer volume of reports spanning centuries makes it hard to dismiss. One of the eeriest accounts comes from a bartender who saw a glass lift off the counter, hover for a moment, and then hurl itself against a wall. No one was near it. Another guest claimed to see a figure in a hooded cloak, standing at the foot of their bed, staring silently before dissolving into the dark. And the whispers, those persistent, unintelligible murmurs, seem to follow people through the inn, growing louder near the gallows beam. What ties these stories together is the sense of unrest. The spirits here, if they exist, aren't at peace. John Crowther and the others who died at the Skirrid Inn met violent, unjust ends, and their energy feels trapped, looping through the same moments of fear and rage. Some say the inn itself is a kind of prison, holding these souls in a limbo where they can't move on. Others believe the land itself is cursed, amplifying the paranormal activity. Whatever the truth, the Skirrid Inn leaves you with a lingering question. What happens to a soul when its final moments are filled with terror? As we close this case, I can't help but feel the weight of those 180 lives lost, their stories etched into the inn's walls. The Skirrid Inn isn't just haunted, it's a place where the past refuses to let go, where every shattered glass and echoing footstep is a cry from the other side. Juniper, I'm not sure I'd sleep soundly in that inn. Something about those ropes and whispers just sticks with you. What do you think?
Matt, I'm half convinced I'd hear John Crowther calling my name. That skeptic angle made me think, but those hovering glasses, no way that's just drafty window.
Right, let's wrap this up, Juniper. Take us home.
What a chilling ride through the Skirrid Inn, listeners. Those shattered glasses and ghostly footsteps are going to haunt my dreams tonight. Thanks for joining us on episode 192 of The Shadow Frequency, where we peel back the veil on one of Wales' darkest landmarks. If you got your own spooky stories or thoughts on this case, send them to us at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com, and you can check out more creepy content at shadowfrequencypodcast.com. And don't forget, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Rumble for updates. Join us next time for another dive into the unknown. Matt, you want to say goodnight?
Sleep tight, listeners. Watch out for those shadows.
Good night, everyone. Stay curious, stay spooky, and we'll catch you on the next frequency.
This episode was produced with a commitment to exploring the unexplained while grounding our discussion in documented discoveries. All interpretations are speculative and intended for entertainment purposes.